night, questions flying left to right. People tired, losing track. No one's got your back, but now you do. Sensei's got you. That's the Sensay. Knows what to say. Talks like a human. Works night and day. That's the Sensay. Saves your day. Built for the future. Here to slay. No more bots that loop and freeze. No more reps begging please. Sensei smart, it knows the play. Chatbots powered the real way. You don't need more crew, cause Sensei's true. That's the Sensei. Knows what to say. Answers in seconds. Leads don't stray. That's the Sensei. Saves your day. Fuel it with Sensei. On your way. Pinpoint lives, a forever story. Every lead, every call, Sensei scores. That's the Sensei. Rush away. Work gets done while you sleep all day. Sensei, lift up delay. I with heart, that's Sensei. Hey. You got a team, work a day and night.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to this week's community call with Sensei. I am Dan Thompson, the founder and CEO here at Sensei, and it's great to obviously be back every single week talking about what we've been up to. For anyone who's new, Sensei is a platform that allows you to create hyper-personalized chatbots of yourself, of your CEO, your sales manager, to help with sales, customer support, community management for your website project, company or business. These chatbots can be used for a huge variety of different use cases, everything from helping you to boost your sales by essentially saving costs on sales agents and having that live information trained on something like your CEO or your best salesperson, or by having it as a community support tool, helping to answer questions as a moderator that's on 24/7, saving a huge amount of cost that you would normally have when it comes to hiring in moderators. And these can be deployed to your website, to your Telegram, to your Discord, or just having there as a fun sort of second brain and knowledge resource. So it's, we've come a long way in the last couple of years. Launched Token last year, SNSY, hence the very fun song that comes into it. So it's it's been an interesting journey as we've grown and keep growing, and we've got some really cool stuff coming up for the next few months as well. I think we've just announced the September showcase last week, and that's coming up at the end of September. So that's when we're going to have a big launch of some of the products and actually showing some of the latest releases that we've had from the team. We've got some other stuff coming up around then as well that I'm not going to release just yet, so we'll keep that a bit of a secret. We've been growing all around. The team's been growing. We've been working faster. It's been a great summer for us. Been heads down actually building, and lots of things coming out the next couple of weeks as well. So really excited to share those with you. Without further ado, we're going to bring up today's guests for a quick introduction, and I will and as always, if anyone's watching on YouTube, Twitter, or LinkedIn, please do ask any comments and any questions you have, and we'll get to those at the end. So I'm just going to pass it around to the different people to introduce themselves. So Lars, we'll go with you as always.
Well, hello, it's great to be back as always. And me, Lars, head of community from Sensei, and I love being crazy in the chat and enjoy the communication with all of you. And today we have our lovely Behzad with us today.
Hello everyone. My name is Behzad. I'm very glad to be here with you. I'm the AI tech lead here at Sensei. Been with Sensei for the last 8 months, and quick introduction of myself, and then we'll pass it to Next person.
To Arthur. So yeah, today we've got Arthur joining us as well, who's from Yield Seeker.
Yeah, so hi everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. And I think we're going to catch up a little later to talk about Yield Seeker and the partnership that we've just kicked off with the Sensay team. Looking forward to it.
Cool. So yeah, we'll come back to you guys in a bit. Bezad, I think we're going to start with you. So I actually forget, Bezad, how long has it been since you've been working with us now?
It feels like forever, but like I think it's around 8 months now, and we've done quite a lot during this 8-month period. That's why it feels like it's been a bit longer. So yeah, I mean, a little like more introduction about myself. I started my career as a software engineer back in 2015. I come from business and administration, kind of business management background. I learned coding back in the 90s when I was around like 10 years old. A programming language called like QBasic. That was back then. It was running in MS-DOS, so very, very basic, very scary stuff. That's when I explored my passion for software development. But I took a different path later on at uni. I studied management and started my career in international trade for a while, and also on the side working as a language teacher, as a freelance language teacher across the board. So in 2015, I got my interest back in software engineering. With like started a project on my own. When that was when I got introduced to crypto and trading and that sort of things. And I wrote a few scripts to automate my trading strategies, and it felt great. And I was like, since I can do it for myself, why not doing it for others and have a greater impact? So I started learning like Python a little more professionally, and did some freelance projects, and it kind of got very serious after that. And I quickly worked my way up from being a junior developer all the way to becoming the lead, and then a head of engineering and a CTO, and now here as a AI tech lead here at Sensay. I mainly, exclusively in the last 4 years worked with AI chatbots, and which is an area of interest for myself. Even like I started my career, and then I figured out that I would better off get a degree in computer science as well to kind of learn the fundamentals behind what I'm doing. So a few years back, I enrolled at a computer science course, and interestingly, my final project that I did was also about AI chatbots and RAG pipelines. So that was an interesting thing back then. I mean, I love the project I did back then, but I had a difficult time explaining what RAG is and how it applies to AI chatbots and stuff to my instructors back then, because that was kind of a very new subject in the industry, and introducing the topic that you can actually bring a knowledge base to and a generic LLM to provide customized responses. That was something very new. Very glad to have joined Sensay. It was a very exciting journey for me up to this point, and I'm looking forward to the future of it.
It's interesting when you say about like how you went from I guess a more, I don't want to say normal, but a different background, and then coming into technology and computer science, and you went down the actual education route. So you went down and got the actual degree for it at that point. If you, let's say you were in that position now today and you were working a different job, given the same sort of scenario, would you do the education route again, or would you go down a more of a self-taught AI vibe coding route if if you were in that kind of position now?
You would eventually hit limitations. I mean, what education teaches you is not necessarily how to become a better developer, but it teaches you discipline and responsibility. And for example, taking an idea from the start to finish, and execution, and meeting the standards and requirements of the projects actually. So anyone can write code. And you can learn these skills in different settings or on your own as well. But for me, learning proper life cycle of software development and how we iteratively work on things was the biggest takeaway from the course. But eventually, no, I mean, academically, you don't learn much, but it teaches you skills that you can transfer later on to your career. Yeah,
I think that's true. And do you notice? I mean, we don't have too many super young people on the team actually, but do you notice a big difference between different ages when they were now in the way that people now work compared to, I guess, before, where everyone had to have a university degree? And is there kind of a stark difference between coders and developers who are coming through now who maybe haven't gone down the university route and have just learned from the internet versus the older generation who definitely have?
I think both ways are great. So I had experience with both, being a self-taught developer and also being someone who actually got the degree. But it's a difficult question. It really depends on the person and what sort of mindset they come from. But eventually, today is I wouldn't, if I had a younger brother, he wanted to go to uni, I would say no, probably. I don't think there is a lot of value in there. I mean, he would better off spend his time learning, being hands-on or working with AI to learn more than, for example, going through traditional education route. For example, we can have in Sensay, we work with one of the educational providers, one of our clients, who's using AI to teach kids at school, where I think that kind of resonates to the future that is coming up for us, in a way that instead of having traditional way of education, we can just leverage AI chatbots to sort of learn new skills or new, let's say, expertise at the pace we want, and which matches our learning abilities and learning styles as well. So I think that's a great thing to consider in the future as well.
Yeah. Awesome. And then, so your role as the head of AI for Sensay, what does that kind of entail day to day? Which aspects of the Sensay platform are you most focused on?
Well, pretty much, to put it simply, my responsibility is to make sure the chatbots behave the way they should. So in terms of providing responses that are accurate and precise, and also making sense, a lot of challenges in that aspect. But to the eye of the customer, how they see things is, for example, they bring their knowledge base, like a file, for example, and they upload it, and they expect to just magically work. That's kind of standard in the industry at the moment, but there is a lot of work involved to make it happen or make it work as it should. So my responsibility around that is to ensure, first off, the chatbots are serving the purpose, and also the knowledge base that we built around the chatbots that make them hyper personalized are also effective and reliable. Because we have different sort of clients, because we are very generic ecosystem, right? So we serve a lot of let's say use cases, and as Mikel and my friend on another community call he was mentioning, there is a drawback for us, and there is also a lot of opportunities. The pressure is always on us to kind of like make it work for every use case and find a sweet spot. But then the clients are will find it easy to onboard themselves, create a replica, upload a few files, and provide their website and a few other sources, and the chatbot will magically work. So I just working towards making that happen.
Yeah, very cool. And I mean, I guess day to day, like obviously the AI is a massive part of what we do, but how does what we're working on fit into the kind of wider scope of the AI development? Like, obviously everyone got super excited when ChatGPT 3.5 came out. 4 was amazing. It seems to hit a bit of a plateau for most users when it comes to 5, even though it is technically more powerful. How do you see what we're building fitting into the kind of wider AI scope in terms of usability, in terms of, I guess, just technological prowess and power?
There's definitely a plateau, as you mentioned, at the moment. I don't see massive improvements from GPT 3.5 up to now GPT 5. GPT 5, in some cases, not performing as good as GPT 4, for example. So it wasn't like a drastic or dramatic kind of improvement. But in general, I like from before the term RAG was popular or was coined in the industry, I was like kind of figuring out how to make these things work. Like I had a very similar solution to RAG, and then later on, I heard the term RAG, and I was like, that's exactly what I'm doing actually in my project. So I always believe that's going to be the future of in the industry. So every business needs to integrate some aspect of large language models and RAG pipelines to kind of bring about a personalized solution that relates to their own specific kind of business use case. So I think what we're building has great potential, and that's exactly what I thought like 3 years ago. Someone should start a startup like that and build a great product like we're building at Sensay for the community to start using. A lot of value in that, and I think there is a lot of potential. Like how I see the future is we'll mostly be interacting with some sort of chatbot, some sort of AI avatar, like having a face being realistic and having my voice, for example. Maybe in 2 years' time, Dan's avatar or DanBot will talk to Bezadbot or Bezad avatar. So and they will sound like ourselves and have what all our personal experiences integrated into them. I think a lot of user interfaces, UI and stuff, is going to fade away, and people are going to like mostly the interaction with AI will feel like human-like. We'll be as you and I interact with ourselves. So it will be like more like a face-to-face or voice-to-voice kind of sort of future. And I, in Sensay, we're doing a lot of experiments and works to get there.
Do you think AI is a net positive for humanity, or going to be an overall negative in the long term?
I think it's net positive. I definitely think it's net positive. It's teaching people a lot of things, and it's empowering more than like posing a danger to the society, I guess. I mean, like we had a course at uni, like AI ethics, and there's a lot of discussion around AI. We as software developers, we have to like sort of embrace the responsible development and the use of AI, of course. But the thing is, it's empowering. Like for myself alone, like I use it as a personal trainer at the gym. So I have like you can use the same actually like AI development tools, AI coding agents to write you a full weekly hyper frothy like plan for your gym sessions and write you a nutritional plan, diet, something like that. So you can use a lot of things. So it would cost me a lot. Like I had to seek a professional, like that's not sometimes available to me, or maybe it's not within my budget. It's just democratizing and liberalizing people, I guess, overall.
Yeah, I can't wait for AI chefs to come around. So all the nice restaurants that I want to eat at, I can just have them like somehow cook at home. I was going to say it's actually an interesting point. One of my last couple of questions for you was around so which, I guess, AI tools do you use the most? Which ones do you find like the most interesting that people might not know about?
The most interesting one, the one that I value the most, is actually a rare one. So it's so in like when there is an error or a bug, it's always captured by like one of the providers we use called Sentry. And in there, there is a log, like there is a trace of the error and what went wrong in our like codes, in our like application. So they recently added like a feature called like, now they changed the name a few times, but now they call it Sentry Seer, something like that. And then it can find the root cause of the problem, and because it connects to your code base, it can even write the code to fix the problem. It would take us ages to go through this technical, very difficult to read kind of lines of errors to kind of sort of understand and imagine what went wrong. But that does it for us in like 2 minutes, and it gives you the solution. So that helps a lot with bug fixes, and it's a really quality of development improvement for us. But obviously, I use the regular ones that everyone else uses at the moment. I never personally use Cursor or Windsurf or any of these IDEs. I use an extension in my old VS Code called Klein. I love it, absolutely. You just provide your own API key, and it's coding for you. Yeah.
Very cool. So you're using Klein instead of like Claude Code or Windsurf Cursor.
Yeah, Claude Code is kind of like, because it's a CLI tool. Yeah, I mean, they're developing like an extension for the IDE as well. They're all great. They're all nice, but it's just like a preference. Like Klein has over 1 million downloads and it's extremely popular and it's open source. So I found it very useful for myself.
Oh, interesting. And I guess the last one for you is: do you use any vibe coding platforms just for playing around with? I know we don't use them for Sensay directly, but are there any vibe coding platforms you've had to play around with and really enjoy?
Vibe coding platform, I vibe code like anyone else right these days. In terms of yeah, I mean, I use vibe coding like I like in Sensay, like, as you know, like we've got these hackathons every month, right? So I developed like 2 like 100% vibe coded, not very involvement from myself projects. One of them was a voice-to-voice Athena, which is our kind of like interviewer agent. That was 100% vibe coded. Very little involvement of myself. I just like wrote the business logic, wrote the prompt. And the other one was Mia, which is our is a Slack bot, is an intelligent Slack bot that you can use in conversation threads. That's still around and people are using it every day at Sensay. And that was also 100% vibe coded. But yeah, I mean, I use all the, like, I experimented the tools. One of them that I'm looking into at the moment is the Codex from ChatGPT. So it connects to your IDE and you can write a task for it and it will give you the solution. So they're all pretty similar, to be honest, but like they're having different interfaces, but they all do the same thing. I think it's down to the developer to write a good prompt to kind of leverage the most out of these AI coding agents.
Awesome. Well, I mean, that's my question. Thank you so much for joining us, and it's a great segue into bringing up Arthur, who's building an AI project in Web3. And so, Bezza, thank you for joining us today, and we'll keep up the good work. I think Kevin's decided to kick me off today. We'll bring up Arthur now. Arthur is leading the project at YieldSeeker. That's yieldseeker.xyz. I've known Arthur for a while. He helped us build our original token. So we go way back. And it would be great to hear more about you and about YieldSeeker.
Yeah, awesome. Well, it's great to be chatting with you here, Dan. As you said, we've known each other for a long time. And you've helped advise us a lot with what we're doing with YieldSeeker, so we really appreciate that. So I've been in the space for a long time now. I have actually got into crypto almost 10 years ago initially, and we really started building in the space, me and my co-founder Christian, about 4 or 5 years ago, where we were predominantly building for other people, and we still do that as we did with Sensay and with other projects. And earlier this year, actually it was kind of near the end of last year, we started seeing this convergence of crypto with AI agents, and we got excited about it. We saw the potential to make DeFi simpler. And I think that is a key part of it. Just also interestingly, the stable coins and the US government are all kind of converging in a moment of moving crypto into becoming more mainstream. So it all kind of fits, right? We started building it early this year, and we've just been building since. We brought together a good, strong group of advisors, and we've got some angel investors, and things have been going well. And I can tell you more.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm actually, there's a stablecoin conference here in Mexico City next week. This is stablecoin LATAM or something like that, organized by Bitso. And I'll be there, and I'll obviously be passing on anything that's relevant for it. But what was the basic idea for YieldSeeker? Like, fundamentally, what does it do?
Yeah. So as I was saying, the way we see AI, I mean, AI is obviously going to change everything, right? Like, the project you guys are doing is incredible. It's got a big scope. We focus predominantly on the aspect of AI being a way to simplify DeFi. So DeFi, for anyone who doesn't know, is decentralized finance. It's kind of a different way of doing finance to the traditional system that we're used to with banks and so on and so forth. And so DeFi is still in kind of its early innings. It can be quite complicated to use. It's actually, for those who've got into it, they find it relatively, many find it even kind of simpler than having to deal with banks and so on and so forth. But for most, lay people, it's quite complex. So through using AI, we believe we can just make that whole interface much simpler, right? So you don't need to understand what's going on in the background, and you can just speak with an agent, let the agent do the work for you. And so that's kind of like the inspiration for YieldSeeker. I'll stop there because I'm sure you're going to ask other questions. I'll lead into what we've kind of become, right?
No, it's really cool. And as you said, like, I've helped with a little bit of advising and helping to just help where I can. But yeah, I mean, for anyone who's interested in this kind of stuff, for finding yields for their stable coins and their holdings, like, it's a really simple interface to be able to go in and just deposit your stablecoins on Base Network and have it automatically find the best stablecoin yields you can get. I know the question. Whenever I share this, everyone's always like, "Oh, but what is that yield? How much can we earn from this?" I know it's variable, but what's the kind of average you've seen over the last few months?
Yeah, so we've been, the starting point for us has been focused on stablecoins, right? And so we've built this agent platform where every user gets their own agent. You come in, you create an account, create an agent, you give it a fun name, and then the agent just works for you on autopilot. And yes, we focused on stablecoins on Base for now. So you bring your USDC over from wherever, move it into your agent, and then the agent will kind of look around based on the vaults that we've integrated. So there's, this is the starting point. And since, over the past few months, we've been developing it further, we've integrated with more vaults. So at the start, when we were because this actually started as a hackathon, and we were quite, early on just integrating with a few places. We've since integrated something like 40 vaults, right? So at the start, the market wasn't as hot, and we weren't integrated with as many. So we were probably averaging something around 6 to 7% APY. But more recently, the whole crypto market's kind of just gone further into overdrive. Bitcoin keeps hitting new all-time highs, Ethereum as well, Ether as well. And I think that spills over into how a lot of these vaults work. And so they've been giving much better results. And we've been probably averaging something closer to 11, 12, 13%. It depends on the week.
And how safe are these? I mean, obviously you're connecting directly via API to these different vaults, and so it's. But you said they connect to 4 different vaults. So all of the vaults that you connect with, they all audited. So how kind of safe is it?
Yeah, so that's a key thing, right? I think people, when they think, oh, this AI is going off and doing all this kind of crazy stuff for me, they might start thinking, is it going to incorrectly send money somewhere or pick the wrong vault or whatever? So, I always try to explain it to people that, it's very kind of still quite limited, purposefully limited in what it can do, so they can't make mistakes, right? All the vaults we've checked, we've gone and only picked the audited ones that are within these well-known protocols, the likes of Morpho, Aave, Spark, Compound, etc. And the agent itself is very limited in what it can do. Like, your agent, first of all, isn't aware of any other agents on the platform. It's isolated. It's got its own context. It can't, suddenly move someone else's money. That's just not even possible. And all they can really do is we feed all this data into the AI and say, hey, this is what's going on right now in the world that you're aware of and that you can operate within. Which of these would you choose, and what function? These are functions that we've written that are quite limited in what they can do. Which of these will you pick, right? And so it ends up deciding, oh yeah, okay, given all these parameters, it's best for me to move into here, right? And then it will just keep doing that over and over again. And the beauty is that as a user, you're just, you've just left your money with the agent. It's kind of working for you and picking the best vault, so you don't have to think about that, because that'll be a full-time job, right?
Yeah, and users can withdraw any time.
Yes, there's no lockup. Yeah, there's no lockup. So we purposely picked vaults that don't have a lockup. So all that happens is you send it into a vault. The agent sends it in, and then you go into our interface and click pull out of the vault, and then pull out the agent, and then you pull it out, right? So that's, go for it.
I know it's been a bit exciting recently because you've obviously had quite a huge increase in number of users and also AUM. So what's that growth been looking like over the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, no, it's been really good. We've had a good few inflection points with just this week, actually. One influencer that he reached out to us. He's like, oh, I love what you guys are doing. I'm a base ambassador. Would love to talk about you guys. And I was like, yeah, great. So we figured out a kind of partnership between us, as we're doing with you guys at Sensay, we can talk about. And they brought in a huge influx of users. And so actually we've been focused on that a lot this week.
Awesome.
And we've hit over 1,000 agents live. And we just want to keep growing.
Nice.
So excited.
And I mean, you touched on it there, but obviously we announced the partnership today. So what does that partnership look like for us?
Awesome. Yeah. So as we were saying earlier on, I've known Dan and Sensay team for a long time. Dan's helped us a lot, and so we want to give back. So any Sensay token holders this is what we thought that this would work well, who have above 5,000 Sensay tokens, if they come and join the platform, they deposit into the agent, then they will get appropriate rewards. So it scales up from 5,000 Sensay tokens up to 50,000 Sensay tokens. Beyond 50,000, it's all the same. And you get additional points on our leaderboard, which will further down the line leads to a token airdrop. There's no set time for that. We don't know exactly when it will happen, but Yeah, just preemptively saying it, because obviously that's the
Yeah.
next question most people ask.
Yeah, that was the next question. When token? Because like I'm obviously a bit biased, but I mean I can see this being massive. I can see you guys doing extremely well out of this, and I think anyone who gets involved in the project and actually is participating in these early days, like to actually get in at this kind of level in the first, like I said, first 1,000 users, give or take, is a real opportunity for what could actually grow into a big airdrop in whenever you decide to do the token. But obviously no current plans for token, no date for the token anyway.
Yeah, the way we look at it is like, I've been in the space for a long time, and a lot of projects, there's not really a right or wrong way to do it, but we just want to make sure that we build something that people love. Like, people just love our product, they speak well of our product, they share with their friends, and then it will kind of be inevitable. That's when we'll be like, okay, token's ready, people are ready, let's go, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many ways of launching a token, and it's a lot of it is to do with timing and markets, and it can be done very well or very badly. I mean, I always bring up, I guess, Bearer Chain as an example. Like they hype it up for years and years and years, and then somehow manage to launch at the worst possible time. And they kept pushing the dates back, kept pushing it back, and they could have pushed it back another time, but no, they decided to actually finally do it, and just happened to be on a day where like everything dropped 10 or 15%. And then it continued to drop after that. So, yeah, it's a challenge, but I'm excited for when you guys get one out. So yeah, well, how can I don't know if you we're kind of a bit short on time, but I don't know how can people find out more about YieldSeeker?
Yeah, of course. So I'm on X. You can find me under AFox in Web3, and YieldSeeker on X is at YieldSeeker XYZ, which is also our website, so yieldseeker.xyz, right? The YieldSeeker current branding is a very initial branding as well, just saying that, and that might change, even the name might change, but I don't think that's our the name change is less to be such a likely thing to come soon, but the actual branding, the way we kind of show people, so the people. At the moment, it looks very much like it's just this little agent, but actually we're really building a whole platform and a whole DeFi AI platform. So we want to make sure that people understand that.
Yeah, I mean, never worry too much about branding. If you've got users and it's growing, then that's the only metric you should worry about. Lots of people spend too much time focused on getting the branding right rather than actually focusing on users and customers. So you definitely did the right way around. Arthur, thanks for joining us today, and I'm excited to see what the next few weeks and months hold for YieldSeeker.
So am I, and it's always great to catch up with you guys and see what you guys are doing with Sensay. So I look forward to doing this again at some point.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so thank you very much. We're going to bring Lars back up now, to have a little update from the community.
Well, we had honestly a few very exciting weeks. We finished off this week on Monday with our mod wars, and to be honest, it was very positive on it because it gave a lot of new activity inside our chat, and we found a new moderator, which I'll inform about next week, because then we're closer to the first of the month, so everybody sit tight for another week in suspense on who actually won. But the good thing about the mod was it also opened up a new theory on what we can do for activities. So I'm working on a whole new plan for the community for long-term activity, engagement, and everything, to bring more fun and more games into the chat through the mod wars. It brought so much that it also created idea what more we can do to do something new.
Super excited to see that. And yeah, again, we've also got our summer campaign still on, so that's still running for another month or so. For anyone who is interested in earning points and earning some Sensay just for participating, you can go to sensay.io/quests. This is our quest platform where you can essentially find out tasks that you can perform, earn points, and those points can be earned into a campaign and win up to $20,000 worth of Sensay and prizes. Or you can convert to Sensay in the near future. So, for anyone who's interested in that, it involves asking questions in these community calls, everything from posting on Twitter to getting involved, referring, subscribing. Pretty much everything we do can be done through our Quest platform, and you can all participate now, starting from whenever, with just a Web3 wallet or a login.
We even have one for this live stream, a special quest. You can just need to ask a question, post a screenshot. That's how simple some of the quests are. Some of them are a little bit harder because we do want to have genuine interaction and genuine use of them. And believe me, my right hand man Mike, he will love watching all your quests come through.
Exactly. And any other questions that popped up in the community this week, apart from the usual when exchange and when listings and when Lambos?
And when pump, yeah, no, that's basically the same one. And of course, the new one is like, who's the winner of the mod wars? Also came because everybody's interested in it.
No, but I've seen it's been super active. It's been great. People really, getting behind it. Also, it's great to see that that's actually, growing nicely and actually working with the campaign, and everyone's being super active. Obviously, ETH is now absolutely flying. I think just crossed 4,800, which is crazy. I think something's happening in the US for, I guess, the Fed's making an announcement or something, or they're preempting
we
an announcement.
had Kay come into the chat and say that Powell said maybe there will be rate deductions in September. The crazy word maybe actually did something.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's always really interesting. And yeah, so everything's looking positive, which means definitely time for us to turn on the engine for Sensay push as well. So it's good time to be in Sensay, good time to get those buys in, and watch what happens for the rest of the year. Super exciting. So we haven't had too many questions today, but guys, if you do want to ask us anything on YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, just post a question in the comments and we'll get around to them. We've got the first few we can start bringing up. But if you do have any other questions, please do post them and we'll answer as many as we can on stage. Starting off with,
somebody just joined.
I'd say, as the number one question for the week, who's the winner of the mod war? And
you will all know next week on our next community call. We will announce exactly who's the winner. We already send out all the letters and everything from it, but Friday next week community call, everybody will know.
Exciting. Teasing. All right, so next week. What else have we got?
Well, it depends on what we get pulled up. Let's see here. I have Alfred. When will Yield Seeker Alpha drop or be dropped? So he just mentioned this in the call, right?
Yeah. So the alpha really is about the partnership, right? And this is about having the ability to if you're holding Sensay tokens, more than 5,000 tokens, you can start earning rewards directly via the Yield Seeker platform. And so I'm just going to actually pull it up very quickly, just kind of show you guys like how that looks, because it's really, it is really, really interesting, and it's a great platform. And I've been helping them out for a little while. I've got a couple of accounts with them, but you can literally go to the Yield Seeker page. As it's showing it, so you go to the Yield Seeker page. You sign up and you can actually chat with your AI to ask, like, sort of like which yield generation strategy are you taking with my money, and it will actually be able to show you which ones you're going into, and you'll be able to check out the overall performance and actually which pools you've been put into and what the kind of yield you're looking at. So it's really interesting in terms of it's a really simple platform, easy to follow, easy to understand, and you get nice updates, and then you can check the leaderboard to see if the points. And obviously, the points will at some point be converted into tokens. So do get involved. You're going to be very, very, very early. There's a chance I haven't been doing enough, so I need to do more. But yeah, guys, you have a real good opportunity to get into a really great project super early at this point. So that's about as much alpha as we can kind of share with for that one. But we'll have an announcement coming out about all of this in the next couple of hours. Or no, sorry, I apologize. It's actually already live on Twitter. So check out the announcement on Twitter for the partnership and how you can earn with Yield Seeker and start getting involved. So that's great.
Yeah, the website even looks great when you go in from the back end. So yeah, I will have to start using that as well, because I have a surprise on the way that's coming in December. So looking forward for that as well.
Do we have any other questions?
John Darcy. So Dan, living the life, you have had some gains, my friend. Love from the other side.
I mean, if he's talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum, then yeah, sure. I mean, it's been going okay. Yes, I don't know. I now live in Mexico City. For the last few months, not very long, and which means I have to wake up at 5 a.m. pretty much every day and start work at 5:30 just to catch up with European time. So there's pluses and minuses, and if it's my nice backdrop here, I think it's just a nice spot that I found to get my work done for the day. And if it's my general charm and good looks, then yes, thank you very much, John. I appreciate it as always.
Well, I know how you feel. I remember when I was on the other side, we literally on the other side of Earth from each other, and it was like 1 a.m. when I was doing this, and so early for you. So fun.
It was, yeah, when it's morning for me, and it was 1 a.m. for you in the Philippines, and you have to run out from a bar to come out and do this and go back to having a fun evening afterwards.
The most fun thing was actually trying to get out because somebody was holding me back, a potential investor. I got his number. I'm still talking with him, so I'm trying to get him into Sensay as well. So he's quite fun.
Yeah. Well, guys, I think that's it for today. Thank you, everyone, for watching and joining. Thanks to Bezad and Arthur for coming on and just giving us some insights into their work and their projects. And for anyone who's interested in following more, finding out more about Sensay, go to sensay.io, create a chatbot today, or you can go find us on @AskSensay on pretty much any channel, or you can find my own socials @SensayDan anywhere. We're always quite active on pretty much all channels, myself, Lars, so you can communicate anywhere, and we'll be able to answer any of your questions during the week. Thank you as always for supporting. We wouldn't be able to do this without the community support. So it's going to be a good round out for the rest of the year, September to December. We've got some big announcements coming out, showcases coming up at the end of next month. We've got the end of the current hackathon we've got on. We've got the end of the summer campaign, all finishing in September. And then we've got October, November, December with some really, really incredible updates and developments coming out. So thank you for watching, supporting, whether you're watching live or watching this afterwards. I really appreciate for jumping on.
Cheers. Thanks.
What if your website didn't just look the part, but spoke the part too? Meet the Sensay AI chatbot, powered by AI agents to deliver a fine-tuned, human-like experience to all of your customers. Trained on your company's data and tone, so every visitor gets a personal welcome from the people behind the company. Your best salesperson, on call 24/7. Your founder, greeting visitors at scale. Your brand, coming to life one conversation at a time. Forget "how can I help you" and robotic replies. This is AI with personality, memory, charm. It is a conversation.
Sensay AI chatbots, built to sound like your best self, ready to talk to the world.